Hello, welcome to another video on the Scouring Early Access. Today's game is going to be a 4 versus 4 game, and on my team it's going to be me, the Perfect Gamer, with my allies Elmon of Assess, My Dream Forever, and Ace. And on the enemy team it's going to be Professor Rev, Quailman 99, Catney TV, and Dinchi Code. And my team spawns on the right half of a map, and I'm going to spawn on the left half of a map. I guess I spawn as a black human player, and I'm just going to be doing an archers start build, because having archers on this map is a little more effective, because it's a big map, and swordsmen are only good at a very early game. Then my ally, white human, is an ace. Looks like he's also doing archer build order. It's like quick barracks and a sawmill following with that. And then orange ally, My Dream Forever. Looks like he's doing I guess warrior build, but potentially switching to an archer build. As we can see, he is making his logging camp with auto workers. And then a final ally, purple human player, Almon of Assess. Looks like he's doing a archer build as well. And I guess that's pretty much it for our team. Let's look at the enemy team. The yellow human player, Dinchi Code. Looks like he's doing the archer build as well, but he got one swordsman. But I guess there's only one capturing tower in the middle, so it's not going to be really using him to capture towers on this map. But I guess on other maps, when there's more outposts, then it is a viable strategy. Just going one swordsman to capture the outpost to give you some nice map control. And I guess the yellow player forgot to make some farms, so he begins making some now. Then a red player, Quailman 99, it's a red human player. Looks like he did I guess a bit of a mix of units. A good amount of swordsmen and some archers. More mixed composition, but it's a little harder to use than just going only swordsmen or only archers. And then the blue player, Professor Rev. Looks like he did a archer build as well as all the archers. Then the final enemy, Catney TV. He's playing as a teal or cyan human player. And it does look like he did also do the archer build order. And I guess yellow was doing something here. I guess he still forgot to make more farms. I guess everyone now is trying to clear up some neutrals on the map. There's all the goblins, some wolves. But yeah, I guess instead of goblin archer neutrals on this new updated goblin map, goblin land it's called, it's more of these melee goblins. I guess over here, pink orange, and then me over here clearing their expansion, or the enemies are under expansion. So is the white player, and so did the blue player, but I think red, yellow, and purple, and teal player, I think, haven't cleared their base here, or their neutrals. But of course, this is Goblin Land, and it is turned on for Goblin raids. which is, I guess, a pretty neat feature or mechanic, where at nighttime, one big wave of goblins is going to attack each player's main base, but it usually spawns around the darkness, so if you have out of vision, it might spawn in a not preferable position. It might actually attack your expansions, so having some darkness is actually not a bad idea. So here it is. I just made a tier 2 town hall to potentially get the archer damage upgrade in case my allies get rushed. And I guess it also makes it a little easier to defend against goblin waves. So here, I was able to clear my wave pretty easily. But all the waves don't spawn right away. They kind of go in order and attack each of the players a bit randomly, I guess, but all in order. Now here, White is fighting his goblin wave. I think White had no issues. So did Red. I guess Yellow. So I guess you have the first night. It's relatively easy. It's not that hard to defend, but good to have the units in position. I think like the orange player here. Looks like he did lose some workers here. I think he probably lost a good amount of them to the goblin wave or the goblin raid. Anyways, pretty much my plan for the game was just to get expansions, just to get all the resources that I could use to make all the units and all the cavaliers pretty much. This is a big map, and moving around the map is going to take forever, so might as well have a slightly faster moving unit, the cavalier. So that was pretty much my plan. I made a second base for an expansion. I cleared this base. I'm thinking of potentially getting a third base also, because you can see I'm somewhat in the middle of my team, and I think the white player is more likely to get attacked, or the purple player, so enemies are going to be very unlikely to attack my expansion here, or even my expansion here, because we have to go for my allies. I guess by now we can see blue has an expansion, the cyan has an expansion, and then yellow just started making an expansion, but the red player has no expansion. I think he's investing more into a bigger army. And on our team, the purple player has no expansion, but it does look like he has some cavaliers. Very early time, around 8 minutes, so probably did a fast cavaliers build order, or just try to make them real fast. He only has like 3 archers and the cannons, so getting a few of those on them is going to be helpful. One over here, I was trying to potentially clear these goblins, maybe capture this tower, but of course I move in a little too far. That orange just flanks me and then forces my units to get stuck here. But instead of losing all my archers, I decide to cut my way through and run away, so at least some of my archers can be used in future battles. Even if you lose some units while running away, it's a little better than just losing your whole army like newer players usually do. Alright, over here we can see my third base is already up. I already made a stables, producing some cavaliers. I was making a smithy to potentially get tier 3 town hall a bit later on. And over here we can see White has an expansion. So does orange. So even the purple player made an expansion pretty soon. And I guess the red player is the final player to make a second base. And I guess over here, the enemies were chatting. It does look like they're going to be potentially attacking the white player here. And even if it's just one extra player, it becomes very difficult to defend by yourself. So I guess you have to be more skilled to know how to defend, not to die. But because it's also to be skilled in attacking, because you don't want to give your enemy too much time to, I guess, reinforce themselves or to allow other allies to come to their aid. Pretty much here I think I saw those two armies of archers here, so I did try to send some help. I just sent literally all my units, leaving no units at my home. Or I guess maybe forgot this cavalier. I think I tried to make 2 cannons, which could be useful to push away the enemy. But over here we can see our enemy maybe not as skilled or experienced in attacking. We are kind of sitting here just waiting for their cannons to bombard these buildings, which is going to take a long time until they go down. And so it would have been better to bombard and then keep on pushing, just to make sure that the white player wouldn't have any breathing room. But here we can see the enemies waited so long that now orange is already here, able to help. And I was able to get all the cavaliers. And you want to try to get I guess big massive cavaliers, because if you have 2 of them, then a big force of archers can just target fire them. You're just going to lose all your low level cavaliers. You want to always make sure to have I guess slightly more group of them, so you can run down these archers and interrupt them. Just gonna allow your cavaliers to pretty much just curb stomp them. Now here, the red player and the teal player decide to attack, because we saw the blue player was getting destroyed here. So here we were attacking them here. It looks like white kind of lost most of his units. And I think over here, the red player lost sort of his swordsman, so only his archers now. And somehow, surprisingly, my 2 cannons here were actually somewhat useful in pushing back these archers, killing a few of them. And here I just put a few archers on this barracks to try and target fire these cannons here. Because without these cannons, our enemies can't really deal with our huge amount of archers. And here I just move these cannons forward, put one cannon on top here. And now I can see that there's just not enough units to stop my force of cavaliers, so I just ran down these enemies. But of course you want to try to move away from the cannon siege positions. But eventually I was able to target fire the enemy's cannons. And I guess overall we were able to kill 3 armies here. I think only yellow wasn't helping here. And I guess looks like orange didn't really lose much of an army. And I didn't lose that many archers. So it was a relatively effective defense. I guess enemies are afraid of being attacked. I think the cyan player was asking for reinforcements here in case my team attacked him. And here I think I asked the orange player to sit in white space, because there's going to be goblins spawning. And white was attacked, so he's not going to have a good amount of units left to defend himself. So that could have been helpful if orange stayed, but of course just ignored my suggestion or my orders. So I called him a female dog. And over here, 2 blue archers were able to heavily destroy the economy of the white player, because while we were busy killing their 3 armies here, those 2 archers just slaughtered, I think, around 10 or 15 peasants. Over here we can see the goblins begin attacking the white player. He's going to be having a bit of a hard time defending against these a bit higher level goblin waves. But on my side, I was able to quickly and easily destroy my wave because I had all the cavaliers. Oh, but I think looks like orange maybe forgot that there's always a wave every night. So he did lose all the economy. And I guess a few archers as well. Looks like purple player was able to clear up his wave. Maybe lost a cannon, but overall defended really well. But over here, the cyan player looks like he's struggling a little bit, losing a good amount of workers. Lost a cavalier, but I guess he's trying to buy some time for his cavalier numbers to catch up, so he can overwhelm these goblins. But it does look like everyone else had no big deal or issues defending against their goblin wave. So, oh, it looks like the orange player here was able to sneak into the red's second base. It does look like he murdered all of his economy. And now he's just sniping these level 1 cavaliers, which basically have no armor, and they're very easy to kill with a good amount of archer spam. But eventually they're going to be cleaned up here, thanks to yellow, but they did do a lot of economic damage to red, so I guess it was pretty worth it. Looks like everyone's trying to get a tier 3. Looks like everyone has one. But I guess white was slowed down a little bit, so that's why he doesn't have a castle. Looks like red was also slowed down economically, so I guess white and red are the only 2 players that don't have a castle. Just gonna give you all the, I guess, technological buffs, because you can get the church. There you go. I researched the cure ability or the heal ability for my cavaliers. And over here it looked like the enemy was gathering their forces to maybe try and kill the white player once and for all. In the meantime, I was going around the map here, trying to see if I made other bases here, because I think there was a red base here that the purple player managed to destroy. So I was thinking of maybe killing some expansions, maybe killing an expansion here. And so I see some cavaliers here, which looks suspicious. This probably means red is over here. And only now I see that the enemy's arriving at white's base. And my force is not really, I guess, gathered to help him out. But I do send all my reinforcements here that I rallied here from all my barrack production. And I do have some apprentices, which can be useful when fighting the enemy. And over here, I was able to kill this base, but I guess I probably should have ran down some workers, but I guess denying a base is a little more efficient or effective, because it's going to take a while for this player to rebuild this and then start mining instead of just sending his workers back to work here. And here I see that this small force is not going to be able to destroy this army of blue by itself. So I was trying to regroup all my cavaliers, but I saw the teal player was starving, so I thought that was a good opportunity to try and pick off some cavaliers. But an ace was desperately asking for help, so I finally decided to come and then destroy this army of blue here. In the meantime, purple player managed to make an expansion here, but of course the enemy somehow was able to scout it out or find it. I guess the purple player is going to take his revenge. He's going to come and try and do some damage to the yellow player. In the meantime, I was able to gather my forces and attack the blues army here. And even the orange player was able to enrage my cavaliers, which is gonna make us win this fight even faster and easier. So there you go. The blue player traded his, I guess, most of his army, not all of it. But he did do a lot of economic damage, so it was, I think, pretty much worth it. Because now the white player is going to have to take forever to get his economy back on track. And he doesn't have much gold, so it's going to take even longer. I guess in the meantime, on the bottom, the purple player was able to kill a good amount of workers here over yellow. That stopped him from fighting here. I think he was a little busy fighting the purple player here. He didn't put his workers back to work until now, I guess, but it's more on his farms. And here I think that mono player thought he could run away, because in a older version of this map, could have went around the map, around the corners here. But this update made it very, I guess, effective to defend your positions, because this is the only way to get across. Or you have to run all the way around here to this bridge, so the positions are more, I guess, defense favored. And over here, we were attacking the Cyan player, because we kind of slaughtered our ally here, so might as well go and try and kill their enemy player. And pretty much here, I was just trying to fight, try and heal my cavaliers at the front line. I guess orange angered some units, but kind of angered all the units in the back of the line instead of the front line, so it could have been more effective, but we just have a lot of units, so it's going to be a big grinding battle. And I guess a little thing to mention, the purple player kind of fed all the XP here, but I guess he did hurt yellow player economically. So it was somewhat worth it, but you should try to minimize the amount of XP that your enemy gets by killing your attacking army. But I guess it's better to do a good amount of economic damage instead of just losing your whole army and doing no economic damage, which is going to give your enemy a big advantage, like I guess here. we were able to just slaughter, I think, Red's army. Oh no, I don't think Red got here. I think it was just Blue and Sign player. But of course, the goblins begin spawning. On over here, they're spawning in Blue's expansion. I guess he noticed it as well. And yeah, like I mentioned, the goblin waves usually tend to target your main base, but you can see he had a lot of vision. And we only spawned in the darkness, and there was a lot of darkness in his back part of his base, so that's pretty much why they spawned here. And at home, I was able to easily defend against goblins myself, because I put a lot of my reinforcements here, so we were able to clean this up with pretty much no losses. Maybe guess orange player here also did pretty well. He had auto munchers. And I guess purple had no issues. But over here it looks like the yellow player lost the building. Maybe one or two cavaliers to this massive goblins. And over here, the sign player still somehow alive, but I couldn't really see him until now. And so I did try to eliminate him, try and target fire his base. Oh, I guess orange sent some units here. So I guess distract the enemy, killed some workers. Forced their units to be here, so this gave me a good opportunity to go and kill the sign player. And I think this is a little funny that the sign player tried to make a base here, thinking that he could run away into this direction, but these are my reinforcements from my third base here that came and surrounded him and pretty much annihilated all of his units. And over here, I saw that there's 3 players here. The yellow, red, and blue cavaliers. Even though it does look like we have a relatively similar amount to me in terms of cavaliers, but they can have more people that can micro and heal, so I'm not going to be winning here, so I tried to run away. I tried to ask my Dream Forever, the orange player, for some help. But of course he ignored that. And I guess he tried to cooperate with the Javier player to try and attack the yellow player. And at the moment, it's pretty much nothing defending yellow's base except for some cannons. And at this point, he's not going to be able to defend his base. And so here he was trying to desperately go back home and save his base. And so I took the opportunity to try and fight his allies here. The red player was here, fighting half of my army. And then the other half of my army was fighting blue here. But here I guess I just had a bit more units. And the red player had no apprentices here. And he did send a good amount of units to try and help out yellow, but there are just too many units from orange and purple, so they're going to be pretty much losing here. And over here I was able to kill red's whole army. And then the blue player's army also was pretty much finished. It looks like I didn't really lose that many units because I had a lot of apprentices. They give this very powerful shield ability. That deflects, I guess, 50% of the damage. And so on top of already being able to heal each other, which makes them live longer, then having a magic shield, which gives even more opportunity for them to survive. Pretty much just turns the Cavalier against Cavalier battles into long fights, which makes most of your Cavaliers into level 3 Cavaliers, which becomes more of a nuisance. And I guess over here, the yellow player surrendered, so did the cyan player, because my allies were able to defeat my enemies over here, or pretty much kill yellow, and I was able to kill the armies of red and blue here in the middle, so the enemies don't really have much left. And here I was trying to capture this tower and go and finish the cyan player, but all the enemies surrendered, and that's pretty much it. Here are the end game results. You can see here I got all the gold. This is gold mined. I guess no one else had that much gold because I had my third base very fast or very quickly built, which allowed me to get a whole lot of workers or peasants, which allowed me to get all the resources that I could use to just mass produce all the Cavaliers, which costs all the resources. Now here we can see the white player was kind of bullied for most of the game, so I didn't really mind that much. He lost more because all the enemies double teamed him or even triple teamed him, so it doesn't always feel great to be the meat shield because you have to rely on your allies to save you, and it feels a little hopeless. So, but we were able to somehow save Ace and defend him against 2 major attacks, and then eventually have a small army advantage, which allowed us to push the cyan player, and then eventually divide the forces of the enemies, and allowed us to have effective fights. And over here we can see I killed a lot of units, I guess because my units stayed alive for longer, because I had Cavaliers and a lot of apprentices, which just makes your Cavaliers pretty much unkillable to any other unit, and the only way to beat this combo of Cavaliers and apprentices is to pretty much have more Cavaliers and apprentices, which is a little funny, which becomes very annoying to fight against. Because if you're an orc player, you can't really do much, because when the Cavaliers get the magic shield, they can't die to the lifesteal ability, so pretty much you're going to be losing all your munchers, while the enemy can just heal itself with so much damage reduction of the levels on the units they get, I guess, leveled up by not dying for so long, which the magic shield and the heal ability allows them to survive for a very long time. Anyways, if you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to see more videos on the Scouring Early Access, then you can subscribe. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.